and the biggest one that I want to put my eye on here is Echo Zulu. This is going to be the first time that we get to get a glance at Team Echo Zulu as they are going against Renault Vitality. And I just got to ask you guys, you know, this is a roster we did not expect to get to this level at any point in time. So how did they manage to make it here?
We have no idea.
Yeah.
We have never seen these guys play, basically. And they finished 10th in the January Renegade Cup. They finished 17th in the EU qualifiers for Dreamhack. So, like, no one expected them to make it this far.
For me, it's Team Echo Zulu has done the impossible, and eventually the impossible has to come to an end. But this isn't the series where that happens. They're going to take it. I believe in it. They are going to rip apart Vitality. I believe in the underdogs here.
So game number 1 is underway. Impact going to try to put the shot in. It rolls in, and Echo Zulu, they score first.
Yeah, I mean, that's the start that you want if you're Echo Zulu.
But we've been talking about this team all weekend. Like, it can't continue, and it continues. So this is their last chance. Last chance for...
Our story begins with these guys, Team Echo Zulu. Now, you've probably never heard of them. That's because they're basically a brand new Rocket League team. So, like, how long have you guys been a team, you three?
I think about 2 months.
And nobody had heard of them before Dreamhack Liepzig, which was a major Rocket League tournament that happened just a few weeks ago. So just so I don't let any of you guys down, I'm going to give away the end of the story by telling you that this isn't your traditional underdog story. Team Echo Zulu didn't win Dreamhack Liepzig, but they did manage to do something that has never been done in a major Rocket League tournament ever. So just to give you a picture representing the magnitude of their accomplishment in this tournament, here's a screenshot of the teams that made it to the final day of the tournament. Now, before I get into the actual tournament, I should also say that most experts agree that this was the single most stacked Rocket League tournament of all time.
Cool. To what many are calling the most stacked tournament in Rocket League history here at the Dreamhack Pro Circuit live in Leipzig, Germany.
The tournament began for this team with something called an open sign-up, and they were forced to play PSG in the first round. Now, PSG is an experienced European RLCS team that made it to the LAN finals last season, and they beat Team Echo Zulu in the first round 3-2. So it was a pretty close match, but they did send them to the lower bracket, where their only hopes of making it to the next day could be found in winning every single series the rest of the day. So Echo Zulu beat a team called 1UP Esport in their next match, and then they were forced to play another current RLCS team called Triple Trouble, formerly Red Reserve and also formerly Triple Trouble, and now Triple Trouble again. Now, Triple Trouble had just beaten Mouse Esports, and they had actually also just lost to Dignitas 3-2. Needless to say, I don't think Echo Zulu was even close to being the favorite here. Now, this win brought Echo Zulu into day 2, and at this point, nothing groundbreaking has really happened. I mean, it's pretty amazing that they made it to day 2, but, you know, other somewhat random teams had also made it to day 2. Now, this is just the nature of having big tournaments like this with lots of teams. These kinds of things happen sometimes. Should day 2 have probably been made up only of RLCS and RLRS teams? I mean, usually that's what happens in tournaments like this, but not always. Crazy things happen sometimes. But the second day of a tournament like this is really where we see who has it as a team and who doesn't. And usually experience plays a huge factor. You know, having to play on the stage, for example, all of these things have mattered. Just having experience, you know, in that kind of situation, usually the teams with more experience and more time played together end up winning. So day 2, Echo Zulu's first match was against Evil Geniuses. Now, Evil Geniuses is a team that everyone was rooting for back in the Season 6 World Championship. They're also the team that brought over Drippe all the way from Australia to play on their team. They're a fantastic team. They've had a lot of success in RLCS, especially recently, and yeah, Echo Zulu 3-0'd them. Now it was time for Echo Zulu to play on the main stage versus arguably one of the best teams in the world, Renault Vitality, made up of the 3 best ones players to ever play the game. Basically, Vitality looked like crap the entire tournament, and they still managed to basically beat everybody. Now, this series was really the point where I think everybody knew this team was here to play, and they really had a shot of being the only non-RLCS team to make it to day 3. Now, remember, day 1 and 2 all have lower brackets, so even if they lose this series, you know, they still have a chance of making it to day 3. Now, Echo Zulu forced game 5, but they did end up losing in that last game, pushing them to the lower bracket where they faced Ghost, another RLCS team and a team with a lot of experience, and the winner of that match would qualify for day 3, whereas the loser would go home.
And overtime we go. That was close, but not close enough for Echo Zulu. Ghost, hang on. First kickoff does go towards Lethamir. He's got a full boosted tank when he jumps for this. Bumps Matain out the way. That's on target, but oh, look at his Taz! With that range stop every single time. You think it's over for Echo Zulu,
They do it again. They scramble, they claw, but they keep the ball out of their goal.
Taz with an outrageous save. I don't know where he even came from for this. I don't think we've ever seen this from anybody. And there he is in that first. Taz finishes the game. What a way to move on to day 3. One of the best defensive performances we have ever seen. Echo Zulu have done it.
7 RLCS teams joined by the lad you see on your screen, Echo Zulu. Welcome to the playoffs.
And then you're playing versus Ghost, correct? Was that your next match?
Yeah.
And that's like the pressure moment, right? You got to beat Ghost to make it to day 3, and that's probably all you want, because that just would be crazy, right? And then
we came so far, and we wanted to get even further, right?
Yeah,
we were there.
So what happened with Ghost? Like, how did you feel like that series went?
I think Ghost was pretty similar to Evil Geniuses. It was really close games though. I think we won twice with 1-0, and the last game was overtime 3-2 to us. We were basically playing like fundamental Rocket League, and they did as well. So it's basically like clashing together.
I mean, yeah. So you're saying like when you say fundamental Rocket League, you're just like basic rotations and just not trying to do anything crazy, basically.
Yeah, just play it. We were both playing it pretty safe, I think.
Yeah,
always have a third man back. And
so you beat Ghost. Like, how do you feel at that point going into, like, you made it to the 3rd day? This kind of thing's never happened. Were you guys on like cloud 9, just like super excited, or?
Best moment of my life, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was insane. The moment we won that, every emotion exploded.
We were going crazy.
The crowd was just cheering us on all the way.
Dude, yeah, everybody wanted you guys to win, right?
Yeah, I know. That's the amazing thing about it. Like, why? And I don't know. It was so good. We won, and we were just all free screaming.
Now, with their win over Ghost on day 2, this random non-RLCS, non-RLRS team managed to qualify for the last day of the most stacked Rocket League tournaments of all time, with only RLCS teams. Like, even all of the RLRS teams got knocked out. It was just this random team and 7 other RLCS teams. Now, the run ended with a loss to Dignitas in the first round of the 3rd day. Dignitas, as we all know, went on to win the entire tournament over Vitality, a team that Echo Zulu almost beat on day 2. Now, it's plausible that if they were to have faced off against a different team in that first round, that they may have went further in the tournament. I don't know, maybe not. Regardless, this was one of the craziest things to have happened in Rocket League esports. No team has ever been able to do this kind of thing, even though I think a lot of teams sign up for these kinds of tournaments, or even sign up for RLCS and RLRS dreaming that, one day they'll be able to just somehow beat everybody. It just never happens. And as you've probably guessed, based on the sound bites, I've had a chance to chat with them, and I was really impressed with their overall outlook on the future. Anyways, here are some of the things that we chatted about. When you guys formed as a team, I feel like there are so many teams like you, so many teams that are on the bubble, and they want this, but like, it just doesn't happen very often. When you guys formed as a team, did you know, like, damn, we have a crazy good team here? Or were you, obviously you're confident, but did you know you had something special when you guys like formed up a couple months ago?
It's weird with bubble teams, because you always feel like there's something much more than there is. But I think it really comes down to effort in the end. Because this is the only team that I have played like daily with, like scrimming daily, coaching sessions, everything. Tried to play daily like 3 to 4 hours and really showed off. All the bubble teams before I played on, never really scrimmed every day. I think that really made a difference for us.
So you're saying like the hard work you're putting in is what has made a difference. It's not like just some accident.
And the coach as well.
In your coaching. So that's like a huge part for you, right?
Yeah, this is the first time we played with a coach. And we all knew like mechanically we're good enough. But it's just about the awareness and the rotation, which really lacks on bubble teams.
Taz, so you're, the big story was like your defense, right? Sometimes when I see this stuff, is it like, one person will average point however many more saves in a tournament than another person? Is some of this just part of Rocket League, or were you truly like your defense was like on point and you were, playing very defensive?
I think why I made all those saves was just because our play style at that moment. Like we said, we played back a bit, and I just was there as a third man, so I could just reflex on it and just save it. It's just rotation. I was always the one behind when I had to make a clutch save. So it just happened. I think I'm more defensive maybe than the other two. I'm not like in Rocket League, you don't have a defensive player and a attacking player. You can have like, you always have one guy who aggress a bit more, but that doesn't mean he's in goal sometimes. Because Impact is our aggressor, but he's making saves as well. Yeah, I like to be the third man, but like I can attack as well. It just on the tournament came that way that I just only defended or something.
Yeah. So what is your game? Like, what is your guys' play style? Well, like, what works for you? You know.
We wait a lot. I think we have a lot of patience. We let them just do what they want. We'll try and save it, and then whenever we see an opening when we can pressure, we're just like, all right, let's go all out pressure, try and get a goal out of this.
So you're like, you have a very counter kind of play style. Is that what you're saying?
I think against the RLCS teams we did.
Okay.
All right, guys, thanks for watching this one. Keep an eye out for Echo Zulu in the RLRS qualifier coming up soon. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace out.